Welcome back to Turkish series stars. If your heart beats a little faster for Turkish celebrities and you crave the inside scoop before anyone else, you found your spot. Show a little love by tapping like, hitting subscribe, and if you want to support us even more, click that cattle button to join our community and help us bring you the kind of exclusive stories that get everyone talking. Now, let's get into it. In a landscape where reunions can send shockwaves through fandoms, few unexpected pairings have reignited public curiosity quite like the new collaboration between Cemre and Gökberk Yildirim. What many assumed would be nothing more than a straightforward business move turned, almost overnight, into the most dissected moment of the season. A sophisticated international fragrance house came knocking, searching for a pairing with captivating chemistry, two faces whose presence together would linger like a scent on skin. The offer didn't just come with a paycheck. It brought a whirlwind of whispers, a flood of speculation, and the irresistible sense that something long left unsaid might finally be surfacing. It began weeks ago, quietly, in conference rooms behind frosted glass. The brand's brief was simple in theory and impossibly tricky in practice. Find a duo whose on-screen spark felt authentic, whose eyes could tell a story without a single line. What they didn't plan for was stumbling into a shared history that had never been fully illuminated. Certain glances left hanging, measured silences folded into interviews, moments fans revisited and rewound, looking for the truth hidden in gestures. According to a source tied to the creative team, Cemre was approached first. She listened. She didn't rush. Then came the name that shifted the entire tone of the conversation, Gökberk Yildirim. The insider claims the energy changed the instant she heard it. Her decision followed in a breath. "If he's doing it, I'm in," she reportedly said, not as a grand declaration, but like a door softly closing on doubt. It was a choice that had nothing to do with vanity metrics or contracts. Something about his presence anchored the idea for her. In an industry where every move is scrutinized, her quick yes sent the media into overdrive. Gökberk didn't hesitate either, but he came with a caveat that revealed more than a dozen interviews ever could. He reportedly told the team that the set couldn't feel like a parade or a glossy showroom, it needed to breathe. He wanted warmth, shadow, texture, something intimate enough to pull the audience inside. "I'm not chasing the fee," he allegedly said. "I'm chasing a feeling. If Cemre is there, I know the pulse will be real." You don't hear that every day. With that, the deal wasn't just signed, it was stamped with a promise of something lived in and true. The announcement cracked open social media like thunder. Overnight, timelines filled with throwbacks of their prior moments together. Clips slowed down frame by frame, hands paused midair, smiles deconstructed. The hashtag Cemre and Gökberk began climbing the charts as if the internet had been waiting for an excuse. One comment read, "This isn't random. It's timing." Another wrote, "Cemre wouldn't say yes unless her heart recognized something." The public conversation turned, as it always does, into a collective detective board of clues and theories, equal parts romance and projection. Were they simply two professionals who worked well together, or was there a heartbeat beneath the surface they'd never acknowledged out loud? In a recent appearance where Cemre faced a room of questions and cameras, one journalist asked what everyone else had been dancing around, why him and why now? Cemre's response didn't tip into theatrics. She kept her voice steady, her gaze clear, careful without being cold. "I don't usually look at work through a personal lens," she said. "But there are people who make the process feel effortless, familiar, even when you haven't shared a set in a while. With Gökberk, the rhythm is there." A sentence like that doesn't confirm anything and yet it suggested everything, an admission of ease, a nod to a connection that doesn't need explanation to be undeniable. If Cemre's answer was elegant, Gökberk's approach was even more restrained. After leaving a studio late one night, he was asked whether this reunion meant something more than an advertisement. He didn't linger or indulge. "Some bonds don't require vocabulary," he said, then slipped into a waiting car. It wasn't a confession. It wasn't a denial. It was a sentence that hung in the air like perfume, fading slowly but impossible to forget. Filming took place in a luminous hotel along the Bosphorus, where the windows collected the light and the water outside seemed to hold its breath. What happened there, according to those present, transcended blocking and marks on the floor. Even between takes, their body language told a parallel story, their shoulders angled toward each other instinctively, their laughter rising and overlapping, pauses that didn't feel empty but charged. They didn't need grand gestures, there was a current running between them that didn't have to announce itself to be understood. A crew member whispered that working with them felt like stepping into a room where the air had changed temperature. One scene in particular became the heartbeat of the shoot. The director requested silence, no music, no dialogue, just a sustained look between them. Cameras rolled. They met each other's gaze and held it. 30 seconds. A minute. Long enough for everyone present to feel as if they were intruding on something private. When the director finally called cut, there was a pause before anyone moved, as if the room itself needed to exhale. Gökberk, lowering the weight of that moment with a half-grin, murmured, "We might not need a soundtrack for that." Cemre answered, not teasing but tender, "The song's in the eyes." The line ricocheted around the set and then beyond it, transcribed, reposted, reimagined by fans who understood that certain truths don't shout, they shimmer. When the teaser dropped, the internet didn't just watch, it devoured. 30 seconds was all it took to set the tone, cobblestones slick with rain, the glow of lamps reflected on puddles, footsteps converging to a cadence. Cemre and Gökberk walked toward each other from opposite ends of a narrow street, umbrellas tilted, faces partially shadowed. The moment their eyes met, you could feel the weight of shared pages. No dialogue, only breath and footsteps. The final frame offered a whisper of copy, certain scents revive the memories we never buried. Fans grabbed onto that line as if it were a secret coded in plain sight and hurled it across platforms. Cemre posted a still from the shoot with a caption that was neither coy nor loud, "Some projects arrive precisely when you're ready to receive them." Moments later, Gökberk left a simple heart. One symbol, and the comment section erupted, interpretations, pleas, theories. It became the tiny spark that lit the tinder waiting in every corner of the fandom. Talk shows devoted entire segments to freeze-framing their every movement. Panels squinted at the tilt of a smile, the way a hand hovered rather than landed, and what it meant for everything that wasn't being said out loud. Editors paired their early work together with these new images, stitching a narrative out of gestures that perhaps even Cemre and Gökberk themselves hadn't tried to define publicly. The story wasn't tidy, that was the appeal. It felt alive, in motion, a possibility rather than a conclusion. But not every reaction was applause. A quiet murmur, then a louder one, suggested discomfort from someone in Gökberk's current orbit. A source close to the woman he's been linked with said she'd watched the teaser and felt that something in the look between Cemre and Gökberk wasn't acting. Whether that was jealousy, intuition, or a protective reaction, no one could say with certainty. Neither Cemre nor Gökberk addressed the noise directly. They let it swirl without feeding it, a choice that only increased the appetite for answers. Meanwhile, whispers from within the industry pointed to an unexpected outcome of the fragrance campaign. A major platform reportedly reached out, curious about pairing them in a long-form romantic drama. The notion ignited imaginations. Instead of 30 seconds, what would 10 episodes do to two people who could hold a room silent with one look? Sources claimed conversations had started, nothing binding yet, but enough to make executives lean forward. As filming wrapped on the campaign, the last day offered an image that would be replayed from every possible angle. Outside the set, the air cool and a little damp, Cemre and Gökberk stood close, speaking softly. The crew gave them space as they said goodbye, a hug that lasted a beat longer than usual, enough time for a camera lens to lock in. Then came the whisper. Gökberk bent his head, said something only Cemre could hear. Whatever it was, it loosened a private smile from her that didn't seem rehearsed or polite. The photograph traveled instantly. Captions ranged from their endgame to some doors never actually close. Everyone projected their own hope onto a moment that belonged, at least for a second, only to them. So where does this leave us? With a commercial that feels anything but commercial, a reunion that refuses to be boxed in by press releases, and two artists who seem to exist most believably in the spaces between their words. Maybe it's all timing. Maybe it's the right project at the right moment. Or maybe the camera finally captured something that had always been there and simply needed the right frame. Whether the next step is a series, a film, or another carefully crafted piece of art, one thing is clear: together, Cemre and Gökberk Yildirim create a gravity that the industry can neither ignore nor explain away. Tell us what you think. Did the campaign reveal a deeper truth, or are we all reading meaning into mastery? Drop your thoughts below, we're reading everything. And if you want more updates the second they break, remember to like, subscribe, and of course, hit that cattle button to support Turkish series stars. We'll be right here, watching the story unfold with you, one look at a time.